Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to stage 6 of the 2026 season of the Global Champions League as we continue in the Côte d'Azur, the south of France, the French Riviera. We make our way from Cannes now to Ramatuelle, Saint-Tropez, on the doorstep of the famous Pamplona beach. We now find ourselves here inside this remarkable arena for the 6th stage of the season. Welcome to the competition and welcome to GCL Day. The course walk has officially been opened, and as you can see behind me, a handful of riders already beginning to measure their strides. We see a couple of the Prague Lions riders. There's Thibaut Spitz. And we see Niels Bruinseels as well. Marlon Zanatelli taking a walk by. Here is a home rider in Caitlin. They're from the Saint-Tropez Pirates. Some of the Madrid in Motion riders as well. Consistency has been a conversation. And Madrid in Motion arguably have been the hottest and coldest units of the 2026 Global Champions League this season. They have struck gold and won, but they have not also qualified for that many round twos. They are lacking in that consistency that we are seeing the Basel Cosmopolitans, that we are seeing the Prague Lions powered by the Czech equestrian team putting together. New format changes this season, we are aware of that, and it has made significant changes to how teams are approaching Global Champions League Day, how they are approaching round 1 and round 2. Vasco, let's take a walk, shall we? Camera operator, Vasco and I. Here comes some of the Riesenbach internationals. There's Ollie Fletcher as well. Maybe we try grab him from the Istanbul Warriors. Right into the middle of the course walk here at Ramatuelle, Saint-Tropez. A couple of the Shanghai Swans riders as well. As you can see, the conditions, by the way, absolutely perfect. Barely any wind, blue skies, plenty of sunshine as well. As we allow the riders, there's Abdel Said, by the way, the man who won the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Cannes just a week ago. So he, for the Istanbul Warriors, comes in to this week with significant form. Anna Kelnerova on the phone, arguably trying to make some conversations, trying to maybe talk to some of her teammates. This is the hub, right in the middle, by the way, of the course walk. As Sara Vringlakova goes and walks past us. Let's see if we can get some thoughts, by the way, from some of these riders. Let's try and see if some of them have completed their course walk. Michael van der Vleuten, I wonder if has he completed it. There's a couple there. There's Marcus Eining and Edwina Tops-Alexander. Again, having some conversations. Here we see the Cairo Pharaohs and Jérôme Guerry of the Saint-Tropez Pirates having a conversation as well. FECI from the Istanbul Warriors. Maybe actually, although we're waiting for Ollie Fletcher, let's see. Anna is available here. Anna Calderova. Hi, welcome to the show, Anna. Welcome to Saint-Tropez. Talk to me about what it's like to be at stage 6 of the year.
It all happened very fast, I have to say. There was a lot of shows coming up also, so there's a lot of organization for the team. And yeah, a lot of tactics happening.
Talk to me about those tactics. Talk to me about the boys you have here. I've seen Thibaut, I've seen Niels. Give me your thoughts on the selection ahead of Saint-Tropez this week.
Well, here they have very strong combinations with them. They have their best horses jumping here, so we're hoping for another good result, hopefully. Let's see how it goes. And the next few shows, we've also tried to pair some strong combinations going to Paris and Monaco, so let's see.
It's been an outstanding start to the season. You must be delighted with where you find yourselves right now. How is that affecting the mindset? How is that affecting the conversations going into this busy summer period, basically being the team to catch?
I think it's very exciting for the boys, for myself also. I should be on the team next week, hopefully. And it puts more pressure on the combinations you try to, put together. And it makes everybody much more ambitious and determined. So it's an exciting part of the year for us right now.
Well, the consistency is there. The riders are there. So we expect another good day today. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Anna Kellerova and the Prague Lions having a word with us. They are the team to catch right now in the Global Champions League. Let's see if we can jump in on the Istanbul Warriors. Acting like I'm part of the team. Maybe they won't recognize that I'm here. I think it's 6 though, no? It's 6?
6.
Yeah? Or 7?
Depends which line.
Yeah, it depends.
First you have all the options.
I'm going to run out of time, so I'm really going to interrupt you all. I'll let you carry on. Don't run away. You're the man in form. An LGCT Grand Prix win under the belt last weekend. It gives you wonderful form, wonderful belief. Give me your thoughts on coming here this week.
No, of course, you come in with a lot of confidence in your horse and in yourself and in the form. But again, every round's a new round. Last week's last week, and now we have to focus on this week, and hopefully we can do something nice for our team today.
Effie, give me your thoughts on Saint-Tropez. What have you walked? What seems to be challenging?
Again, amazing atmosphere. Everything a bit more quicker coming. Way skinnier arena than the Cannes. But the let's say fair course. And we have a good plan, hopefully hoping for the best for our team.
Do you have any update on Simon? How is he doing?
Yes, he has a successful surgery. And hopefully in short time he will come back to the ring.
Istanbul Warriors, we'll let you guys go. Thank you very much and all the best for the upcoming round. GCL round 1, we are moments away from the start of it. Has Razorback International, by the way, Christian Kukuk in the mix having a conversation. They want to try and improve on that consistency factor. But as it stands, a lot of people are very intrigued with how this round is going to play out. Remember, new strategies in play. This new format, now 6 stages in, is starting to get more comfortable for the teams and for the riders. Let's talk to the home team, the team that won here, in fact, in 2025. The team that has already won on tour in 2026. They were winners in Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, let's sit down with the hosts, the Saint-Tropez Pirates. So, Jerome, Caitlin, Jean, we want to take the opportunity to maybe focus on the home team. Winners in Mexico earlier on this year, currently in 12th place on the GCL standings. You are at home, you are the hosts, you are winners already this season. Let's get to know you a little bit better. We have some interesting questions that we'd like to run by you today, the Saint-Tropez Pirates. So, Jerome, how do you feel about Caitlin? If I would ask you to describe her for me, what would you describe her as?
She's always okay with if you ask her, she do like this or other things, we have a plan different. She's always positive and okay with what we ask. And she has a good mentality.
Oh, that's very nice. Caitlin, Jean, how would you describe it?
He kind of feels like my dad when we're going in the ring. He's always really positive and you just kind of get like a father vibe.
Jean, I believe the team chat needs Google Translate. So to keep it with the French speaking, what do you think of Jerome?
Jerome is super nice people. When you have him in the team, it's a super nice supporter. It's always behind each one. And if you have the chance to compete with him, you can take the positive vibes that he has.
That's one.
If you had existing thoughts of any of these riders before you started working alongside them, who has surprised you the most now that you've been able to get together and work alongside them?
Jean was in California last year, so we met a little bit there. But it's just been super fun to be on a team and super friendly and really welcoming to the first time showing in Europe.
Do either of them do something that you find frustrating, annoying, irritating, drives you crazy?
Honestly, they are so nice, really nice. It's really difficult to say things negative about them. Sometimes I can say about Jeanne, she's negative about herself sometimes. She's a really good rider. She does so many good things. And when she misses something, she's not realized that how good she is. We are not here in the top score if we are not good. And then sometimes she has to believe more on herself. And okay, Caitlin, I don't know her for a long time, but okay, she's so focused and easy to follow, to help. She is always positive. It's nice.
Jean, if you could ride your teammates' horses, which horse would you decide to ride if you got the choice?
I really like the chestnut of Jerome.
I agree with that. Yeah, we're both taking the chestnut.
Yeah, but I don't know so much the horse of Kathleen, but the one of last week looks very good.
I would happily take Dexter too. Yeah.
So you obviously you have the right stable then, huh?
Yeah.
What's your horse?
Yeah, that's good. That's it. I want the one for Jeanne.
Jerome, Mexico is being brought up now. There was a great stage for the team. You were there. Caitlin was there. It was a wonderful stage win. You now come to a home show. What has the conversation been like this week, building up to Saint-Tropez?
It's always the plan. When you go, we want to do the best and be on the top. But sometimes, you know, with horses, with you have a plan and you cannot arrive what you expect. But this week we are really motivated. We knew that the two last global we were not on the top, and then we are really focused to be good in a home show. That's why we are positive about this weekend.
Jean, how do you feel about the weekend?
Yeah, the same than the home. We will fight to have a good result, to climb a bit in the overall, because with myself down last week, we have go down a bit. But yeah, we'll start a new week, new chance, and we will fight to have the best result possible.
Well, best of luck to Saint-Tropez Pirates this weekend. We hope for a nice home ground story to tell at the end of the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So those are the thoughts of the Saint-Tropez Pirates as the Italian maestro Uliano Vezzani comes and joins us for a hello and greeting. This is the man that is responsible for building this beautiful track. This is the man that is responsible for so much of the magic that we see, by the way, on the GCL. Lieutenant Colonel Tom Free, let's talk about today. Let's talk about the week. Firstly, welcome to Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez. Give me your thoughts on arriving, on touching down, on being here for stage 6 of the GCL.
We just arrive in here and there's a showgrounds built in the middle of an oasis of, you know, sun and sea. It's a fantastic location, a great atmosphere here. I have to say the arena is stunning. The location's fantastic. We're on the French Riviera. Where else would you like to be?
We got the beach hats, we got the sunglasses. It feels as if the incredible Pamplona beach, by the way, which we can throw a stone into, is almost part of the arena. It feels so close by. We've had a couple months and a couple stages now, Tom, to digest this new format. Much talked about at the start of the season. Now we've had some time to digest it. We've had some time to look at it. It talks about consistency. It talks about horse selection being crucial. Give me your thoughts on, firstly, how consistency becomes so important now. The teams that we are starting to see put together multiple second-round performances. How is that affecting what we see on the standings?
I think previously you were talking about a 4-round strategy. It's a little bit like Formula 1. There's a 4-round, now we've got to look at really making sure that you get through into the second round. So it's your first 2 horses, your first 2 rounds. If they're not on the money, you don't get through. And that's what actually is. So you can see a real change in the attitude and the tactics and the strategy that the teams are now adopting. Some of the teams came here, I think, on the earlier legs and expected, you know, over 4 rounds, we're going to claw into this competition. Remember, previously it was 155, 1.60 m. Now we've reversed that in this new season, 2026. So we go straight in at 1.60 m. So really, if you don't land running, if you're not there or thereabouts at the end of it, well, if you don't get into the second round, you're outside the top 10. And that's the fundamental difference. But now they've got their heads around it. And if you look at the pairings that they're bringing forward now, you know, on stage 6, they're really top-loading. They're front-loading their first horse-rider combinations.
Because you have to. You need to make sure that you jump well to get into that second round.
Yeah. And look, we saw Riesenbeck recently where they were 10th to qualify in Shanghai. They jumped double clear round and they've crawled all the way up to second place. If you're not in, you can't win, and that's where the strategy has really changed. So it's put a little bit more pressure on the, you know, the selectors, on the team principals. They've really got to, you know, they've got to go hard at the beginning here now. They can't, there's no sentiment, you can't warm up into it, and that's what makes it for us, the spectators, and those of us who love the sport. That's what's made this so brilliant.
Absolutely. Basel Cosmopolitans are putting together a string of second-round performances. The Prague Lions are putting together a string of second-round performances. And most recently, the Shanghai Swans, who we'll hear from Max Kuhn in a moment, they've qualified for the last 3 competitions into that second round, and that's why they are looking to try and climb. Give me some technical analysis on where we find ourselves, because whilst we are here, Côte d'Azur, the French Riviera, we were right up the coastline in Cannes a couple of days ago. It looks and feels like we could well be in Cannes. This looks and feels like we could well be in Monaco. That comes in a few weeks' time. However, when you are inside the arena, it has a slightly different feel. Talk to me about, for those that jumped last week, those that are here this week, what kind of difference do we see between Saint-Tropez and Cannes?
A lot of our fences are quite similar, so the colours are the same, the fences are the same. We have our traditional Longines Oxer here behind us. But the difference here for me is, when we were in Cannes last week, our arena was a bit bigger, but in particular the tribunes and the stands, they were pushed back a lot further off the arena. If you look at what we're jumping here this afternoon, this is a 1.60 m Oxer, it's a very big fence. But look how close the spectators are. So you can imagine when the horse is in the air up here, he's no more than 3 meters from the spectators. So any little bit of noise in the arena, much more like a coliseum here. Definitely in Cannes, everything was pushed further away from the horses. But definitely, you've got to be really brave. You've got to be a really focused horse when you're jumping this fence with all of this beside you. different warm-up arena as well. So different dynamic.
And then, of course, you have Leona Vizzani, who's aware of that and is building lines down the VIP area. He's building lines that are bending into the corners because he's got to utilize that real estate to make this as good a round as it can be for everyone.
He's one of the best course designers in the world. We know that, but what makes it so interesting is the different approaches that he takes. Last week in the GCL, the first round was very technical. A lot of related distances, quite a few turnbacks, you know, really technical for the anoraks of the sport. When you look at the course plan, it was wow. Then came back for the second round. I think only 2 related distances. Fences in a different place, long runs to the jump, 1.55 m, encouraging him to go quicker. We're going to have to wait and see what this track is going to look like. But look, he's a master of his art. We've already seen him in the first class get almost a perfect result, just 2 clear rounds in the Grand Prix qualifier. Really interesting class. But again, let's see what tricks he has up his sleeve. It's not tricks, it's just brilliant course building. And what he does, what really impresses me, is he brings out the very best. And that's good course building.
That's what we want to see. Absolutely. Well, we are getting closer and closer to the start of GCL Round 1, live from Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez, Stage 6 of the 2026 season. We're talking about strategy. We are talking about consistency. Let's hear more then from Max Kuhner and the Shanghai Swans and how they are preparing now on Stage 6 here in Saint-Tropez.
And this immediately from the start off, okay, we have a warm-up, but the warm-up, you know yourself, is never really comparable to a real class. So right from the first moment you have to perform. That's quite challenging, and it also demands experienced horses. You know, makes it quite difficult to bring up new horses. Also younger horses or upcoming horses to develop in that. We need to bring experienced horses for that new format. But starting with the big round immediately needs to have some experience for the horses.
So we have 5 completed GCL shows. This is now going to be the 6th. The good news is that the Shanghai Swans have qualified for the second round for the last 3 in a row. So there is an upward curve, there is a momentum shift for the Swans. Are you able to tell me what has changed, what has clicked, that has made these last 3 seemingly very successful?
Yeah, I think you know, our sport is also always a lot dependent on the small moments, also a bit lucky or not or unlucky. This is for sure also a big factor. But we try to get used a little bit to the new format, trying to bring the more experienced horses in the first round and to deliver 5.1. Here we have some younger horses now this week again, especially for the second round. So we try to jump the more experienced horses again in the first round, and then in the second round we want to give some younger upcoming horses a chance.
You didn't jump in Cannes. Some might say there's some similarities between Cannes and Saint-Tropez from an arena point of view. What are you expecting from this Saint-Tropez arena?
I mean, I always loved this place. I have good memories here at that place, and my horses also like it. I bring one horse who's very familiar to that place already, EAC up to Chaco, and one younger horse, Kurt. So I have quite high hopes in EAC up to Chaco. Felt very good the last weeks, and Kurt also just had a good warm-up. So.
And Max, we're approaching the mid-season transfers as well. I know it's still early and normally teams don't say too much. Is that a conversation that you've begun having with your team, with riders? Is that on the table just yet or no?
We don't have a conversation about that, Mark. We talk about so many things, but it's not yet. Yeah, no, we keep it in the black box so far. Sorry.
I look forward to opening that black box. Max, best of luck to you and the Shanghai Swans for Saint-Tropez.
Thanks, Mark.
Standing alongside Basel Cosmopolitan's Marlon Madolozano-Telli to get some thoughts about what has been built for Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez. Marlon, Stage 6 of the season, we find ourselves in paradise of Saint-Tropez. Give me your thoughts on what you've just walked.
It's a really nice course. I think it's very fair for the horses. Pretty delicate. The ring is difficult with being up the hill and down the hill, so he plays a bit with that, seems like, and I think it's going to be an exciting class.
Quite opposite to what we saw in Cannes last week. I've been told by a few riders about how close these grandstands are, this VIP area is, and again, of course, Juliana's going to use this line alongside that. Does it feel very tight? Does it feel very, you know, like the crowd is on top of you?
Yeah, it comes very fast, everything. The ring by itself is a bit small, but especially this side of the VIP feels like a wall, and we have a little bit of reflex from the glasses from the VIP. So many of the horses, like we saw a little bit yesterday on the warm-up, they don't like to go too close to that. They tend to try to stay away. So I think that is going to definitely play a role here on this last line.
Talk to me about that hill that you're talking about, because obviously going up and going down is going to affect rhythm, it's going to affect speed. How do you manage that when you know that you have a fence coming up?
No, especially balance. I think that's the main thing, the main key. You have already to start 4-5 there, the 3 strides down the hill with the Liverpool behind, so he's asking everything that the horses keep on going, keep on moving towards that direction down the hill, and it's a delicate jump. The horses tend to look a bit down and keep going forward, so that's going to be a delicate jump, and then a roll back to a jump up the hill with a double oxy vertical one stride, which the horse is going to have to show a little bit of power going into the combination. I think that's already something that he uses a lot with the heels and up and down.
One of the major compliments for Basel this year has been the consistency. One of the best performing teams, qualifying for a handful of second rounds now in this new format. What do you reckon you put that consistency down to?
I think planning that to Andreas Scout to decide the teams and where we're going, and of course the communication between the riders to say I'm ready, I'm not ready. I think that's the main key. Like today we see Andreas decided not to jump the team, and I think that's what really plays along, that when we go in the ring we feel like we're ready. Anything can happen, like it's a sport, so anything can happen, but we always try to bring the best horses and combinations at that moment into the ring.
Okay, Marlon Zonatelli.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All the best to Basel Cosmopolitans. Thank you very much. Marlon Zonatelli and the Basel Cosmopolitans giving us some thoughts. Shall we try and have a word with Kim Emmen? She looks very deep in thought. Een van die beste wat uit Nederland komt. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kim Emmen for Madrid in Motion. Hi vriend, hoe gaat het?
Goed, met jou?
Ja, super. Dat is super fijn, dat is warm. Zit hier bij de oceaan. Ja, lekker jas, een hoedje. This is super fijn hier.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Saint-Tropez. This is fantastic, yeah. Talk to me about Saint-Tropez, Kim. What are we anticipating here? What have you walked in this GCL round 1?
Yeah, I think it's a good course. It's a nice course after last week. The Grand Prix, I think he made a nice course this week for the horses to come a little bit back in the rhythm. 1-2, easy start. Then option to go inside or outside. Nice line combination. I think it's a good course. I think it's going to be tricky enough, but good, nice.
Marlon is talking about the hills up and down. We're talking about this VIP. We're talking about this VIP being very close. The verticals on the Liverpool. It feels like he's put a lot into this to try and challenge you. What do you think is going to be the, not necessarily a joker, but where's going to be the really tricky area?
I think number 5, the vertical, the tall vertical there, on the short tree. And I think the last one, that is both the biggest fences here of the course, and also that vertical is a bit downhill, this vertical is a bit uphill. What Marlon also said, the arena is a little bit laying like this, so it's for the horses difficult to judge sometimes, but I think it's a nice course.
Okay. Hartelijk bedankt. Succes voor vandaag.
Yo.
Super, Kim. Thank you well. That is Kim Emmen of Madrid in Motion giving us some thoughts on what to expect for Global Champions League Round 1. We are quite literally in the middle of this incredible arena. Pamplona Beach is right over there. Nikki Beach is right over there. And the riders and the stables and the warm-up area are right over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moments away from the start of Global Champions League Round 1. This is stage 6 of the 2026 season. Let's get ready for Amachuel Saint-Tropez.
Centigrade, 55% humidity and a 13-kilometre-an-hour wind. Absolutely wonderful conditions for horses and spectators. Beautiful arena, absolutely stunning location here right on the edge of the beach. So that's our arena. Here are our previous winners. Valkenswaard United, they won it in 25. 24 were the Cannes Stars. New York Empire, they won last week. Can they win again? They won in 23. Prague Lions back in 22. And Valkenswaard United back again in 21. All to play for this afternoon. New format, new competition, new league. A lot of new riders on the circuit as well. A number of changes from last year. A couple of new teams that have really started the season. So here's the overall standings at the moment. So the Prague Lions are out in front with 89 points. Just 1 point behind the Istanbul Warriors. Basel Cosmopolitans have been so consistent all season. New York Empire, they won last week in Cannes. Can they follow it on with a double? Monaco Aces, Falconsvard United, and then on down through the listing. Cairo Pharaoh started very well. They're now 10th. Madrid in Motion 11th. Tropez Pirates. And then propping up the end of the table, you can see the teams that we have there. This is our eye in the sky. That's Nikki Beach, but this is our 3D animation of our course. Set out by Uliana Vasani, 85 metres long, 40 metres wide. One round, time will count, 12 numbered obstacles, 1 metre 60, 15 jumping efforts, 375 metres per minute. Start over fence 1, gallop down to fence 2, 8 strides between 1 and 2. Nice, heading right up towards the pocket on where they've come in. This is quite a difficult turn back. It's quite sharp back around fence number 8 as you try and come to fence 3, the very tall vertical. 3 up to 4, long gallop to fence 4. 7 or 8 strides up here depending on your horse and the line you take. Jump 4, now you have 3 short strides from 4 to 5. Tall vertical on that pattern with a water tray at the back of it. Back right-handed. Turn back on yourself, coming back on the diagonal across the arena to the first of the combinations. This is an oxer in and a vertical out, 6A, 6B, water tray under the oxer on the way in. Then left-handed from 6 to 7. 6 strides, very committed up to that big oxer heading towards the pocket again. Back left-handed, 8 strides around the bend from 7 to 8, tall vertical with that plank on the flat cups. Back again across the diagonal to the combination, 3-part combination, 9A. Set at 155 vertical going in. 8.1 metres, 1 stride to the oxer, 9B, 152 in front, 155 wide. 8.2 to the last part, 9C. It's a vertical set at 155. Now immediately from 9 to 10, turn right-handed. That'll be an 8 or 9 stride distance again, depending on what route you take. 10 to 11, get into the corner, get square. Last 2 fences coming up the grandstand. Huge Longines oxer at fence number 11. It's 1 metre 55 high. It's 1 metre 60 wide. And then 5 big strides home to fence 12, vertical 1 metre 60, and that'll be the first round. Remember, 17 teams coming to post, but only 10 will progress. False and time will be the decider, and then we'll proceed later this afternoon to round 2. Again, you can see Uliano has used every corner of the arena, up the long side beside the hospitality suites, right up against the outside there. Bit more of a gladiatorial feel, but let's have a look at our starting order here. First team we're going to see are the Shanghai Swans. They'll be first to come. Giacomo Cassidy, Max Kuhner. Then the Scandinavian Vikings, Jorv Reelings, Ervin Glover, Rock and Roll MXL, that 9-year-old. Mexico Amigos, Carlos Hanquiera, Eduardo Pinera Jimenez, H5 Knock-and-Do. They're third to go. New York Empire, Dennis Lynch, Mikey Pender. Remember, Mikey was second in the Grand Prix last weekend in Cannes. Rome Gladiators, Luis Felipe Neto de Aviedo, Guido Grimaldi. Tropez Pirates, previous winners this season, Caitlin Campbell, Janine Jansadan. Monaco Aces, Duarte Seabra, Peter Fredrickson. Monaco Aces also winners already this season. Cannes Stars, very strong lineup here. Anastasia Nielsen on Rocky. Catherine Eckerman and Iron Dames Blue PS. Riyadh Knights, Emmanuel Gardiano, Matthias Van Asten. Madrid in Motion, winners in Miami, opening leg. Mikhail van der Vleuten and Kim Emmen, very strong partnership this afternoon. Basel Cosmopolitans, been so consistent. Olivia Philippart, Marlon Medola Zanatelli. Istanbul Warriors, powered by the Carpe Diem Equestrian Team, Yves Saeli and Cantante. He won the Grand Prix qualifier last week. Abdel Said, he won the Grand Prix. Then the Doha Falcons, Caroline Rioff Peterson, Nathan Budd. Prague Lions, Niels Brussels, Thibaut Spitz. Falconsvard United, 15 to go. Edwina Tops Alexander, Marcus Henning. Then Riesenbeck International, Kieran Allen, the Olympic champion, Christian Kukuk on checker 47. Final team that we're going to see will be the Cairo Pharaohs, ladies team Ines Jolly and Annalene Forselmans. They're the 17 teams we look forward to this afternoon. Then we will decide what 10 will come forward. There are some of the gentlemen enjoying the hospitality, others keeping an eye on the course to see what way it's going to ride. Our first horse is due in the ring any moment now. That's the wonderful setting that we have. Nikki Beach here on the top left. Our warm-up arena there in the bottom right. So here's our first rider as he trots into the arena. Giacomo Cassidy, the 23-year-old Italian. He's ranked 120 in the world. He's ranked number 7 in the under 25 rankings. We saw him in Cannes on team duty. He's riding here. Chagras on PS, the 15-year-old gelding by Chacon Bleu. This jumped around for a fence down in Cannes in the corresponding class. Let's see how he goes. They finished 8th on that occasion. They're currently lying in 13th place. They have 61 points in the league. So he gets the bell. Down the far end of the arena. Big Oxford started. This is a really big horse. You can see huge scope. Around the corner, pop the vertical. 7, 8 strides. Now 3 here. Whoa, whoa. Very nimble, very light on his feet for a big horse. Back nice and tight to the first of the combinations. Ox are in. Vertical. This is very good. Heads to the pocket, has a little rub at that. That's heading up to the corner. Now this is a difficult fence. Left-handed to the combination. Whoa, whoa, just gets a little strong going in. Can he hold it together? Middle part is gone, I'm afraid. 8 penalties so far. Big Oxer at the far end of the arena. Now up the long side. Last 2 fences. Oxer, 4, 5 strides home. Finishes on 63.06. 72 seconds is the time allowed. That was fairly quick all the way through. Stayed on a really solid rhythm, but has 2 fences down, 8 penalties as he hands over to his teammate on this occasion. Will be Max Kuhner. Here we can see that's the first of fences down. This is into the combination. Just carried a lot of speed. You could see Giacomo working hard, just trying to slow it all down. Max Kuhner, EIC. Up to Chacon Bleu, the 15-year-old gelding, also by Chacon Bleu, out of a Douglas mare. He's an Irish sport horse, bred by Mark Sherry. Short 3 strides, jumps that nicely. Max is already after jumping. 3 clear rounds for the Shanghai Swans this season. We saw him in Miami. He was in Mexico. Jumped a clear round in this class as well in Shanghai. Sets up for the combination. Pops in. Big Oxer. Brilliant support. Beautifully ridden coming out. Now moves very quickly around the corner. Jumps this on a little bit on the inside line. Really solid performance. Last line, 5 strides to the last fence now. Moves forward to it. Walks quite long that distance. Brilliant effort. Max Kuhner at his very best. He's ranked number 26 in the world. You can see why.
It's a lovely clear round from Max Kuhner to try and push the Shanghai Swans into that second round. But the 2 fences going down for Giacomo Cassidy leave the Shanghai Swans on 8 penalties. Is that enough for them to qualify for that second round? We'll have to wait and see. As it stands now, in comes Jure Fleeting, the next team ready to go. You want to sign up and see what's happening here at the GCTV studios? Sign up for a GCTV Live Pass. Come join us in Ramatuelle, Tropez.